So my next guest has been on with me now a few times now. I have with me Wes Peters, and he's the CEO of Gold Wealth Management. You're also an author of several books that you've written, and we're going to open up the lines of the audience. You have a new one that has just come out, and so I first want you to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, a little bit about myself is I have a background in financial planning. I had all my securities and insurance licenses. And back in 2009, I got into the precious metals industry, selling physical gold and silver. So what I do is I sit down with families and individuals and talk to them about protecting savings as well as retirement funds with physical metal, a tangible asset they have in their possession outside of the traditional banking system and the US dollar.
So the last time you were on, I might even remember the first time, but the last time I remember you said this: if you don't hold it, you don't own it.
Exactly.
And that is so important. There's a lot of people, television seems to bring a lot of people to do things, right? The commercials that are in there, and I know they have them. Usually they're on late night. But I want to ask you what the difference is in, working with someone like you as opposed to calling those 800 numbers or whatever they are.
Right. Well, we're all about education first. We also have another saying, which is you don't earn until you learn. And unfortunately, a lot of companies in the industry I'm involved in, everyone's going to talk to you about why you should own physical gold and silver. And if you get to that point where you say, okay, this makes sense, I need to diversify, then a lot of these companies want to become the expert and they want to tell you what to buy. And unfortunately, the way some of these companies determine what you should buy is on the day when you're ready to make that decision to move forward, they're simply going to pull up their inventory and say, okay, what do we have too much of right now that my sales manager will pay me, an additional spiff to move and get rid of? And I can't tell you, Carol, over the years how many people I have talked to. Again, I've been doing this a long time. How many people I've talked to that have no idea what they bought, have no idea if it generates a 1099 to the IRS or not, if it has one market value or two market values. So what we do is we explain all of the products. Here's what you get with bars. Here's what you get with certain coins. We give people all of that information so they have, they can make an informed decision based on their situation, what they're trying to accomplish, and say, hey, I think in my situation these products would be best for me. And we'll say, okay, if that's what you're interested in, here's how much those would cost. Rather than saying, oh, you should buy this 1 ounce South African Krugerrand, which is a 1 ounce gold coin, that many people don't realize when you go to sell it, you're going to have to give your social security number and it's going to generate a 1099 to the IRS. And there are coins that person could have bought that no matter how many they were buying or selling, it would have been totally private with no 1099. So I encourage people listening, even if you've already purchased gold and silver and you're really not quite sure of what you own and what the value is and what you paid for it, reach out to us. We'd be happy to review what you purchased and say, hey, you know what, you did a great job here. You got some of your money protected outside the traditional system. And then we can also answer whatever questions they might have.
So your number to call is 623-640-5911. His website is goldwealthmanagement.com, and he does a free portfolio review. I didn't ask you before air, but I'm going to ask you now because I know you do a lot of seminars and things like that. You have another one coming up?
Correct.
Yeah,
yes.
Tell them when that is.
This seminar is going to be the last Thursday of January. Let me double check my dates here. Last Thursday of January, which is the 28th, I believe.
Okay.
10 a.m. at the Pebble Creek Country Club.
And that is where?
That is in Goodyear.
Okay. And, here's the thing. What I don't understand, and maybe you can help me, why don't people who want, maybe they have a portfolio, they don't put their money, they don't diversify. Why is that?
Well, a lot of it unfortunately has to do with if they have a financial advisor or a stockbroker. I always use the example of 2008. You could have seen that financial crisis coming from a mile away.
Mhm.
I mean, there are people on the Fed and the FDIC that actually even joked about it. You know, they were laughing about it. And I have a video about it that I could share with people as well. It's always, oh, don't worry, it's going to come back. It's going to come back. All markets go up and down, which is true. But if a financial advisor or stockbroker was really doing their job correctly, why aren't they reaching out to their clients and saying, hey, I'm concerned, we need to reallocate some things and maybe even sit in the sidelines in cash for 12 or 18 months? And you look at Warren Buffett right now. He's sitting on the sidelines right now with a war chest. You know, the total right now that he's sitting on is significant. And people have asked him, you know, it's not like you, Mr. Buffett, why are you sitting on the sidelines? And he said, well, we can't find anywhere where the risk is worth the reward right now.
Mhm.
The stock market is so overvalued at this point in time. So again, these advisors, they just say stay the course, and when it goes down, you just dollar cost average and keep buying. But if your money's really being managed, they should be telling you, hey, let's make some adjustments here so you don't take a 20-30% haircut and sit on the sidelines, and then when it corrects, when it drops, then we'll jump back in and load up on these good investments at that time.
I have a question, another one to ask you. I do
Mhm.
that all day.
Okay.
So I do want to ask you, there are people out there that, you know, have never done anything like this, and maybe they got for Christmas some money or something like that, and it was a good idea to have gold, that silver or gold, that is tangible, that you hold, right?
Correct.
How can you start with baby steps, or what is it, you know, because a lot of people think, oh, I gotta have a lot of money to do that.
No, I had, just before Christmas, I had a gentleman that reached out to us and he said, hey, you know what, I think it'd be a great idea to just get some silver for stocking stuffers, you know. And
I want to meet that person. Go ahead.
And we met at the office and he bought 5 1-ounce silver eagles. Beautiful, beautiful coin, you know, and he spent less than $500 on those 4 coins. And if someone wanted to buy 1 coin, we don't have any minimums. I mean, we feel like we should give everybody an opportunity. I think last time I gave the example of a client of mine. I think we made his 80th purchase, and the biggest purchase he ever made was $5,000. And he'll call me up, hey Wes, I got $300. I want to buy some more silver. I've got $500. And over that period of time, about 3.5 years, he's accumulated a nice stash of silver. And with his initial purchase, because it was a little bit larger for him, we picked up as much gold as we could. I told him, I said, look, you can call me with $100 and say, Wes, I want to buy some silver. You can't do that with gold. So for his initial purchase, we put all of that money into gold. So he does own some gold, and we've been stacking silver ever since.
Now, you also just have this new book that's coming out right here. That's Gold Wealth Management. It's Why Today's Market Feels a Little Too Much Like 1999. And we are going to open up the lines to the audience for everyone to get his book. I mean, he's got a lot of them. You can pick which ones that you want. This is the newest one. I'll go ahead and put that up onto Facebook.
That one hasn't even gone to print
Hasn't
yet.
even gone to print yet. And, you know, I think what I love is the way some of the words that you come up with. Bubbles float until they don't.
Right.
So, and gravy does the rest. So tell us what you mean by that.
By gravity?
I'm sorry, gravity.
Yeah.
I said it wrong. Gravity does the
Yeah,
rest.
again, there are a lot of warning signs right now. I mean, the things that people should be looking at, the stock market's price to earnings ratio, the PE ratio, is way out of whack right now. The Buffett indicator, the current margin debt level, and the coming banking crisis. There are things out there warning. It's like a car. Back in the old days, we had a temperature gauge, we had an oil pressure gauge, and then they went to what they call today idiot lights. Just a light comes on, check engine. If someone's driving their $60,000 car and the check engine light comes on, they're not going to keep driving, because you go into a dealership or somewhere to get some work done, it's $1,000 like that, and you keep driving that vehicle, that could lead to several $1,000s of damage because you ignored that warning. We have warning systems like that in the markets. It's just most people don't know about them, they don't understand them, and their advisor sure as the heck isn't going to tell them about that. And that's what's in this new report.
Number one, what's the biggest one that they ignore?
Well, a combination of those, the price to earnings ratio, for example, the PE ratio right now, a stable, a good sound price to earnings ratio, which means how much someone's willing to spend to make a dollar investing in a company. During good times, you have to spend $15 to $18 to make a buck, right? Right now, that PE ratio is 40. The PE ratio of 40, you have to spend $40 to make a dollar. To give you an example, in 1999, when the NASDAQ fell 78%, the S&P 500 fell 49%, the PE ratio was 44. We're sitting at 40 right now. And that's why Warren Buffett is sitting on the sidelines. These stocks are very expensive. You have to spend a lot of money to make a dollar.
That's crazy. But it's just the market,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
I mean, and you can't, nobody has control over that really. So the best thing to do is to talk to somebody like Wes, to sit down and talk them where you can diversify so that when these things happen, you feel more safe. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
correct. And again, there's an old saying out there, you never go broke taking profits. You know, if you made a lot of money in the stock market, you've done well in crypto, take some of that money off the table and allocate it to your insurance policy, your gold and silver, again, outside the traditional banking system and outside the US dollar.
He's all about education. That's what he wants to do, is educate people out there. That's one of the reasons why you like coming on the show. He does have seminars that does right now. He's got one the last Thursday of January, I think it's the 28th,
Yep.
at 10 a.m. at the Pebble Creek Country Club in Goodyear.
Correct, and if people could RSVP for that, because we do have limited seating, we are providing a nice lunch afterwards. Come get some information, we'll send you home with a bunch of reports and everything, and then if you want to schedule a free, no obligation conference call, come by the office, we can come by your house, whatever you prefer, and have a list of your questions and concerns, and let's talk about each and every one of those and break them down.
The number is 623-640-5911. His website is goldwealthmanagement.com. We do have our lines open here. He has several books, and you get to pick which one you want, but the newest one that hasn't even gone into print is this one here, Why Today's Market Feels a Little Too Much Like 1999, and our number here is 602-277-5369. Okay, what is going on with the banks around the world? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Central banks are buying, they have been buying up physical gold at a record amount. And when you stop and think about it, these are the people that control the money around the world. And if the people that control the money around the world are dumping fiat currencies and loading up on physical gold, people need to pay attention and figure out why that is.
Explain what fiat currency is.
It has nothing backing it. It's monopoly money. Back when Nixon took us off the gold standard back in 1971, our dollar used to be backed by something, and they took us off the gold standard. So, the dollar's only worth something because people are willing to take it. It's our means for payment, and we're very quickly heading towards that dollar being replaced with a full-blown digital currency.
You've been talking about that quite a bit. I mean, and a lot of people, when they hear these things, they that'll never happen, or that's going to be in a long time. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I hate to say that those folks are naive or misinformed, because back on July 18th of 2025, President Trump signed the Genius Bill into law, allowing banks and financial institutions to tokenize assets, and it's most people have no idea that we're full steam ahead on that. And the big problem is there are a lot of good things with this blockchain technology and going digital, instant payment settlements and everything, but there are a lot of downsides too. I mean, corruption, fraud. If those payments are instantly settled, right now a stock trade or some mutual funds, they can take up to 3 days to settle. But so cyber hacking, you look at what's going on there, and just the fact that everything's going to be on a ledger and you can kiss all privacy goodbye.
So, why is it so important then, again, when these things are going to happen, possibly, or more than likely, why people should protect themselves by having gold and silver?
Again, to get your money off that ledger outside the traditional system, My clients that have been investing in precious metals over the years, they've got their war chest, not like Warren Buffett by any means, but they've got their war chest on the sidelines, off the grid, off the radar. And when we do go digital and all their other accounts, bank accounts, brokerage accounts, IRAs, 401ks are converted digitally, they've got something on the sidelines that they get to convert it on their terms as they need it.
So question, before you came on today, we were talking and you mentioned about the price of gold. I want to talk a bit about that because that's the other thing, it goes up and down all the time.
Right.
When's the right time? And let's talk about the price.
Right. All right. So when we sell gold and silver, we don't sell it telling people, let's do this and make you a bunch of money. Again, it's your insurance policy, your backup plan. Use stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate to make money. That's traditionally. But if you look at, let's do a quick recap on gold from January 1st to the end of December of 2025. Gold was up 65%. Hands down, far outperformed the S&P 500, the Dow, the NASDAQ. And yet these financial advisors will sit down with people and say, oh, you don't want to invest in that old relic gold, it doesn't pay dividends. They give all these different reasons or whatever. But gold did very well at 65%. And silver, which has been lagging for a very long time, silver was up 145% in a year.
And people don't even think silver's worth anything.
Correct.
A lot of times.
Correct. And China just passed it. They are no longer going to be exporting any silver at all. There is a series, what's gone on in the silver market isn't speculation, it's not manipulation by Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan and the COMEX. Especially what's going on in the silver market right now is there's such a huge shortfall. It's an industrial metal used in everything. And that's why even President Trump, when he talked about, helping out Ukraine, how we wanted their mineral rights. Venezuela, we want their mineral rights. Silver is in all these batteries. I mean, it's in everything. And there's a shortage of it. So people haven't missed the boat. And I'm afraid sometimes to say these numbers, what gold and silver did last year, because people, I missed the boat, it's too late. You have not missed the boat. We did a bunch of seminars in the spring of 2025. And if all of those people at those seminars would have bought gold and silver back then, they would be in a much better position. And now the fear of missing out is kicking in. All these people are calling out of the woodwork like crazy that for 3-4 months we were trying to get them to get into metals, and now all of a sudden they want to do it because of what the price has done. You want to take action before, not after the fact.
So we've got our lines open here for everyone. He's an author of several books. The newest one he's got here, I'm showing it to everybody on Facebook, that this one here is not even in print yet, and so he's talking about it already. Passionate about what you do, incredibly, and so we've got our lines open here for everyone to get the one that you would like. He's been doing this for 17 years. He's got all of these books. You can choose which one you want, and our number here is 602-277-5369. Check him out on the website. It is goldwealthmanagement.com. He does free consultations. It's a free portfolio review. If you're new at this and you're just listening and you're thinking, I don't know, there's no minimums whatsoever. He doesn't push you into anything. It's not about that. It's all about the education. His number is 623-640-5911. Again, it's goldwealthmanagement.com. Before we go on a break, and I just want you to, say again, you don't earn until you learn.
Right.
And to me, that's what I love about having people on this show for. That's what I love this, is because, we have these people that are all listening out there. Maybe it's you, maybe it's your husband, we never know who you're talking to. Listen to what's going on. Listen to these people here, because, you obviously you're doing something right? And you've been helping people for a long time get into the precious metal industry for them to be able to have something to fall back on.
Correct, yes. And, again, I mentioned the warning lights on the car. We've got plenty of warning lights going off in the financial markets. And I just wish that people would, again, especially since it doesn't cost anything, there's no obligation whatsoever, get the information and do your homework.
What's the number one question you get asked?
Typically, the number one question is usually, okay, Wes, I buy this gold and silver, how am I gonna use it? I can't go to the grocery store and buy food, I can't go to the gas station and put fuel in my vehicle.
How do you use it, Wes?
You sit it on the sidelines outside the system, and as you need it, you convert it to whatever currency we're dealing in at that time. We'll cut you a check based on Bitcoin, whatever, if we're still using the dollar, whatever it is. And that's the great thing about gold. You don't have to pick the currency winners and losers. When you have gold, you're covered on everything, because everyone recognizes its
And you
value.
have everything. You have coins, you have bars, you
Correct.
have all of it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's been doing this forever, helping people get, well, you know, it's protecting yourself is really what it's all
Right.
about, right?
Yeah.
We don't know what's gonna happen. I know that in 1999?
.com miracle.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Absolutely.
And we've been through several of them, and it's interesting, people are funny. They go through it and it's terrible, and then afterwards they sort of forget about it.
Yeah.
But you know, you have to be on top of things, and that's what we're doing here. We're protecting you. And his number to call direct, it's 623-640-5911. Call in here. We've got our lines open here for everyone to get one of his books. Again, our number here is 602-277-5369. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a minute.